How we feeling? Yes. Wow, this is crazy. Is it cool if I tell a little story? So this journey has been wild. This is the second part of the Child of God tour, okay? And kind of a theme of my life is kind of just stepping out in faith and God showing me what's happening either after the fact or kind of in real time. And with this music, let me just start here. I've been making music for like 12 years. And you know, I work at it like almost every day. Like I'm like obsessed with music. I love it so much. And the people that I was interested in making music like were all in the pop realm. They weren't Christian artists. And so I set out to make that sound. And I spent years and years working on that craft. And I actually found a lot of success in that realm. But I felt like God was pulling me, I don't know, kind of pulling me somewhere else. And I didn't have all the answers. It just looked like the answer, no. So I said no to a lot of stuff. No to some songs, no to some tours, no to some festivals, and it just kept looking like no. And I didn't know anything was on the other side of it, but my wife and I had peace about the no. And so we kept saying no, and this whole time, in the meantime, I'm making worship songs, but it's just in the moment. You know, I have my Bible out, I have my journal, and I'll just worship God. And there's this one song that keeps coming around. Typically, I worship, and then it's done. I'm not thinking too hard about it. And there was this one song that, after like 2 months, every time I'd sit down at the piano, it would come back out, which was, you came to set us free. I am loop that for like 5 minutes straight, and then I'd be like, okay, cool, that's done. And there was one day where I felt like God was telling me to put it out. And I had never put out Christian music. I didn't know Christian music could have the sound that I was carving out. And so I was like, okay, cool. So I produced, I recorded the piano in my living room and wrote the song and produced it out on my laptop that's sitting here under this kind man's blanket. Shout out the Denver Broncos. Whoa! And yeah, so threw it on there, and I just uploaded it. Like, didn't spend any money on marketing. Just like filmed a video, uploaded it. You know, through DistroKid, cost like $30 to do. And God breathed on it. It immediately just did its thing. And so I'm like, it's that real time thing. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Okay, but that was kind of my quiet time thing. I don't really know how to redo that. And a couple of days later, he decides to give me another Christian song, which is called "Lift My Hands." So I heard the whole song in my head. I went downstairs, produced it out, wrote it in one session, finished the whole song, ready to upload, minus the mixing and mastering. That's a whole thing. Shout out Biz Morris if you're listening. Yeah, so I put out that song, and then, you know, same thing happened. And once again, I was just kind of open-handed, like, God, like, if you keep doing this, that's cool. If you don't, that's cool. And he kept giving me songs. And so I put out like 86 songs that first year. Yeah, and he just kind of opened up the floodgates, which is crazy because that's a lyric in Lift My Hands. And yeah, so I never intended to be a Christian artist. He just kept giving me songs, and I never intended to put out a Christian album, but I felt like he was calling me to make an album, and so I set out to make the best possible album I could, which was Child of God 1. And so I put out Child of God, and then I had no intentions of touring. Like, I was just stoked. I love writing, and I love my family and our unit. But then I felt like God was calling me to go on tour. And so here we are at Red Rocks. About a year and a half later, here we are. So it's just been crazy. And one of the cool things, it's like the album's called Child of God. Is one more like really interesting tidbit with the tour. So we did the first leg of the tour and some of the venues were marketing that it was 18 and up, that no kids allowed. And I'm 30 years old, right? So I make music that I think sounds cool, and we're looking at the demographics. We're like, okay, the average listener's like 30, like we're good. We show up at the first show, and a lot of the crowd is families. And so it's almost like, I mean, I've got this open-handed thing, but it's like maybe God has something for families in this generation, in the family unit. And I'm actually just curious, if you're a kid who came with your parents, can you yell? If you're a parent who brought your kids, can you yell? If you have no kids, can you yell? So yeah, just a crazy thing, and it's been a learning process, because yeah, it's like, for some reason I've become like the soundtrack of families, and the family living room, the family car ride, going to school, going to work. I'm stoked to be that, going back to the first thing I said, because I didn't have anybody to look up to that was making the sound that I wanted to make. And so I hope that I can be a role model to you kids. And it doesn't matter if you're doing music or something else. Whatever you're doing, do it for the Lord wholeheartedly, and that's where the life is at. I also thought it would be kind of cool. I actually brought my actual laptop. This is where I make all of my music. Hopefully yeah, I'm not gonna leave that. I got this Denver Bronco. I'm gonna kind of like sneak it in here, because y'all will still see it if I lift it up. So I'm gonna lift this up. Hey, it's working. Okay. So this is a song I've already made, but I thought it'd be cool if I kind of show y'all how I make music, because my process hasn't really changed all these years, and it's really simple, honestly. So is that cool if I kind of show y'all real quick? I'm gonna do it. Okay. All right. So here is Logic. This is where I make all my music. These are called stems. So you can see these little layers right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. These are all stems. And each stem represents an audio recording. So if I solo, like let's take this one, I'll zoom in a little bit. You can kind of see the audio file there. So this is a clap that I recorded. I hit spacebar. All right. Simple clap, simple place to start. We're just getting a little BPM. Then I added a little thickness, so I added a second clap to it. All right, we're chilling there. Okay, so we got to be a little BPM, but we don't have a groove. So to get the groove, I'm gonna add some percussion elements. Let that loop around. So we've got this hi-hat, and then we got this tambourine. Okay, so that's filling up the pocket a little bit. So now you kind of know how to move your head. It's a little groovy. Okay, I'm gonna open up some of these effects here. We got some haze. We got a little percussion thing going on. Next I added this effects loop. This is like a little synth that's chopped up. Just filling out the pocket more. Next I add some guitars. Let me just open up all these. And this echo, the echo on this guitar is really making it like, almost kind of like reggae kind of fill out. One more little element, there's this little piano thing right here. Okay, so now we have a nice atmosphere, right? But there's not really any music happening. Like, you don't really know the emotions of it. It's kind of lifting up, but it's like, how am I supposed to feel? And the feeling is gonna come from the chords. So I played this synth loop right here. Let's let that come around. Hey! Okay, so now that's nice. It feels like a nice little hug, right? Nice and warm, but it's a little bit too much in the high range. We need some mid frequencies. So I added in this synth. That's gonna add some body there. Whoa, you kind of feel that in your chest. But we're missing the low end, so I'm gonna add this bass here. Now you kind of feel it head to toe. it's still a little bit too nice for my personal taste. I like there to be a little bit of grit in my music, and so that grit is gonna come from the drums. So when this loops back around, I'm gonna solo that out. Boom, boom, boom. Hey. Okay, yeah. All right, so y'all kind of know where I'm going now, right? Let me pull some of this back, actually. Alright, let's stay like... Let's take this one out. Let's take this one out. Actually, I'm trying to back it up. I kind of like that. Oh, not that one. This one. Yup. Okay. So for this particular song... Let's make sure that doesn't shut. For this particular song, there's two things now missing. The first thing for this song is giving someone a good day. So, do I have any volunteers? I'm looking for someone who wants to come sit on this hill with me. You wanna come? Yeah, you want to? Y'all good? Alright, come on. You're gonna follow me. We're going this way, we're following back. Watch your step. Alright, y'all two are coming too. Alright, we're gonna follow Matt. Wait, follow me this way. Here we go. Here we go. Alright, stay close back. What's up, guys? How y'all doing? What's up, Red Rocks? How y'all feeling? Hey, can we give it up for this squad right here? Okay, Red Rocks, there's now one thing missing for this song to make it full, and that's the vocals. Y'all ready to have a good day? Okay, everybody, I'm gonna need you to put your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. I'm about to have a good day. No matter what they say, oh, the sun is shining down on me. Birds are singing praise. I'm about to have a good day in every single way. 'Cause the God who made the universe knows me by